Nadia, hi. Welcome to the live stream today. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Hi, Irina. Thank you so much. I'm excited as well, extremely excited to have a chat with you and with our audience today.
Yeah, we have a very good topic today, which is diversification of revenue streams. And you are an expert in this area because you are a founder, you are a coach, and you are a mentor. And I think you don't need an introduction because anyone who is listening to us today can go straight on your LinkedIn profile and can connect with you straight away or after the chat and send you any questions if they have. And we don't want to waste any time and we go straight to our questions about diversification of revenue streams for an event business. So, Nadia, the past months have been very, very difficult for many event businesses and freelancers, suppliers. So, can you tell me from your perspective, what is the main challenge when building a profitable event business?
Yes, this is a really great question, Irina. Thank you so much. And that's exactly how I love it. Straight to the point, giving a lot of value right away. So let me just dive right into this topic and into this first question. But first of all, I would like also to define what a profitable business actually means, because I hear a lot of like professionals and business owners, they talk about revenue, for example. But at the end of the day, what really matters is really the profit margin that you're having after you delivered your services and paid your expenses. So, in terms of terminology, we need to understand that we are talking about profitability here. So, our ultimate goal and the ultimate goal of every entrepreneur is to have a bigger profit, right? So, and this can be done by implementing one of the two basic strategies that we are being taught in economics, right? Like you can either increase prices so that you can get more money flow, or you can decrease your cost. Now, if we are talking about the challenges, we need to understand that every business is going through its life cycle. So the challenge for the small business owners, for example, startup phase, what they are facing can be absolutely different. They're not the same what the major business owners are going through. So let me just break it down quickly in terms of like different challenges what some business owners might be facing, because I've been seeing some patterns that I've kind of developed while working with numerous event business owners in the past year when I was coaching them. And these patterns are the following. So if the business is in the startup phase, I see that there is like the challenge of not having a system for sales, for lead generation. It's in a way chaotic business management. And usually there is a bit of struggle to identify like the niche, to identify how to differentiate yourself from the competitors and narrowing down the client mix. So that's what what kind of conversations I've been having with different event business owners, like across different platforms. And in fact, these marketing components, they are the basics of being able to develop and create a service suite, which is based on the client journey rather than, throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing what sticks, right? Because many are building a business like out of luck, right? Like whatever happens, I'll see what comes through. But I'm all for the systematic approach and systematic like building the business in a systematic way. And as a result, those startups, what they are experiencing, there is inconsistent revenue, no foundations to scale, because you can't really grow your business if you haven't mastered the very first steps. So you are not able then to build a sustainable business, and it feels almost one step forward and two steps back. Some you are confirming a client, all excited, and then basically there is emptiness. There is no business coming your way. So at this stage, it's hard to talk about diversification, as first those startups, they need to master and secure one constant stream of activities. And of course there are exceptions, and the situations like COVID, when you're simply forced to pivot and to find alternative ways of sustaining your business. And before, I've been chatting with like at the beginning of the year, I've been chatting with like a massive amount of business owners, just checking the ground and testing waters, and how it has been for them like the entire previous year. And a lot of people, to my surprise, they were not able like to pivot, or they were staying in this stagnant phase, feeling afraid, that there are no in-person events, but I think the whole concept of being an entrepreneur is being agile and flexible, and trying to find ways how you can sustain your business. So going into the other the other group of event business owners who are having major businesses, who are generating more than 100K a year, let's say. And sometimes I see what's happening is that like they rely on luck, or they most rely on the repetitive client base. So basically, they generated those clients over the years, and that's where they are at, right? Like they are not having the new lead injection in their business. So there is almost no way how you can actually grow and scale, because you are constantly working with a limited client base. And there is like a struggle to grow from one-man band to a team. And again, there is very often no system and strategy for growth at that at that level. We are not talking about like identifying your niche, because usually it's already settled. Here we are talking about comprehensive marketing approach, which expands the brand visibility, which allows to reach a wider audience and bring in the new leads and clients almost on autopilot, because there is attraction marketing which is put in place, and various strategies which are being deployed. And I would say, at this point, you can actually talk about diversification of revenue streams, because once the business has been stabilized with consistent revenue flow, here you can add various revenue streams like passive or active. Passive, I call those revenue streams where it doesn't need your active involvement. And this way, you are able to diversify your portfolio and grow that profit margin that we talked about. And eventually, the goal for many is to build a sustainable business, right? So we don't want to work like crazy hours. We want to have recurring revenue, and we want to be able to delegate kind of the majority of operational tasks, and to focus on our, very fancy terminology right now, zone of genius, right? Like what we want to do, where we feel inspired, where we feel like we are experts. So that's
Yeah.
that was a
Yeah,
long answer.
that's a very detailed answer. And I say, of course, if anyone has questions, feel free to ask Nadia as we go along. That was very detailed answer. I love especially that you mentioned that many people are actually focusing on their existing client base and not aiming to acquire new clients. So I think it's about having this mind shift just go out there and look for new business opportunity, and especially right now. Talking about then, we have this phase of lead generation set, and then now we want to diversify. What are the actual opportunities? What are the activity streams that event businesses can generate more revenue? What activities?
Right. Well, basically, I would say from my experience of working with different event business owners, because we have so many different niches, and there is no one size fits all, right? So we have found for different businesses really absolutely different creative ways how they can generate more revenue, and how they can generate like different activities which would bring more money in, and would have this kind of recurring income. That's what we want to have eventually. So let's say you've got your mainstream of activities, then you can because you are positioning yourself as an expert, right? Like every one of us who's building our own business, we are at a stage in our careers where we've gained a lot of experience. We are, well, the most cases, right? A lot of experience. We are ready to share that knowledge, and that's what we've been building up. Like with some of my clients who were like having 10 years of marketing experience, they are then having their own company running like events and marketing for their clients, but then we were really reinforcing their positioning as experts so that we can actually sell their consultancy services, or in a way education that they can provide as high ticket offers based on their expertise. So that's another stream of activities that every expert can, like every business owner can add. There is like a massive amount of consultancy services that you can provide to people who are in need of that. Then there is like influencer marketing, content creation. There is venue representation. Also, with some of my clients, we have deployed that as well, in terms of representing venue and promoting it on social media as well. Social media, it has such a massive impact, especially nowadays. So I think like a lot of big companies or destinations, they are really looking forward to having those influencers in their pocket in a way, so that this marketing tool would create more credibility for their product or for their services. The next thing is like definitely thinking like widely, thinking about global collectives or cross exchange of expertise and client base, because here we really want to penetrate different markets. And if you are able to create like a collaboration with someone in another region, you are opening yourself like a massive amount of doors into that market. And here you can create partnerships and collaborations. And here is really the sky's the limit. So very popular kind of expression, like collaboration over competition. But I agree so much with that, because sometimes we feel kind of jeopardized by other like experts in, or people in our industry. Our industry is rather small in terms of like representation on social media. We know everyone who's actively involved on Instagram or LinkedIn, right? So we feel like, okay, well, maybe this is my competitor, and I'm losing my share of market. But in fact, you can actually grow your visibility, and you can extend your client base by being able to collaborate with some of other experts. And I think we talked about like during the Twitter chat about like creating memberships and communities that you can eventually monetize in the long run. And the topic of communities is very, let's say, widely discussed right now, because events, they are part of that process of building communities. So we are one of the part, like of those very important tools that a lot of companies use in order to build those communities. So the same can be actually done inside of our industry, if you are looking to monetize your audience that you're already having. Of course, like we are, most
Sorry
of
to
us,
inter-
we are,
sorry
yeah.
to interrupt you here. The topic of community is so huge, and I also remember having the discussion is, do you need first a community to have an event, or you first have an event to have a community? So I think community is huge, and if you have a strong community, you will make your community members actually your fans, and your fans will buy from you, and they will tell others to buy from you too.
That's right. That's right. I agree very much with this concept. It creates this know, like, trust, and it creates credibility. But I think it can go both ways. Events, they can create community, and communities, like you can create events based on the community's needs. So yes, it's another thing, and this is something that I'm also exploring as one of well, maybe some of our listeners know that I'm apart from being a mentor and a coach and providing services for the event business owners, I also have another stream of activities. how funny is that, right? Like I'm talking about diversification. So that here it goes. And basically I'm working within the association sector. And here we think like really about community building, providing value on that, like within that community and on that level. Right. So basically, just a couple of more things that I wanted to mention that we were actually implementing with my clients inside the coaching programs as well is running your own ticketed events and basically seeking for sponsorship. So even if like some event business owners are having, let's say, entertainment services and they are providing, let's say, virtual game shows or game nights, what they can do, they can find a sponsor for, let's say, who want to have a bigger access to the audience, and they can supply the products to promote their products, let's say, drinks, or there are a lot of those cocktail master classes that are taking place. So really thinking outside the box and trying to see who can be interested in the people you are influencing, who are watching you, who are working with you. And then definitely, again, going back to the topic of your expertise is speaking and moderating opportunities, which can be paid proposals. So this is something that everyone can explore, and everyone can actually include in their strategy when thinking long term.
Yeah, definitely. I think speaking and moderating is very popular right now in the industry, as you mentioned, influencer marketing, and you see straight away who are the active people in the industry, so you can reach out to these influencers, people who might not like have an influencer job title, but they are still influencers. I mean, like, as we talk about influencer industry, that people do it full time, I think in the B2B, people can have their day-to-day job and still be very influential.
Mhm.
So I think it's important definitely to reach out to those influencers, and those influencers can definitely monetize it and add it to their existent revenue stream, because they have a brand, they have the followers, they have the community. And now we will go to the next question. Um, I wanted actually to ask you why it's important to diversify your revenue streams, but I think we already covered it, because definitely the uncertainty of Corona, and not just relying on one revenue stream. So we go to the next question. When is the right time to start diversify your portfolio?
Right. This is very good question, and I think a lot of people are very impatient in going like into various revenue streams. But it definitely depends on the business development pace. I've had clients who started to add new revenue streams after like literally us working together, meaning 3 months after building the system and implementing it in their business. And I've also had clients who, due to exponential growth, like during 8 months, first 8 months of having their business, needed to stabilize the operations before exploring new opportunities, because we need to understand that new revenue streams, these are new responsibilities. This is like additional time that you need to spend on that. So either you need to delegate your other tasks and to reshift your focus on this new revenue stream for it to pick up. So the time is right when you've become good enough in selling one main thing that you are actually actively selling.
Good. And now it's my favorite question, I think, because building a revenue stream, it requires a lot of time. It requires new resources. So how having multiple activity streams has impacted your business when you look at revenue versus the effort?
Yeah, that's a very good question, because I'm all for like optimization of resources. Again, as mentioned, for me, sustainability and being able to run my own business and help my clients to run their business or to build their business is really to make sense for us, because we haven't quit our 9 to 5 jobs, corporate jobs, for us to build another job that where we feel like prisoners, right? Like we really need to make sure that there is this energy flow, that we are excited, that we are motivated, that we have time to spend with our families, on our hobbies, right? So it's the goal of having your own business. It really needs to make sense for you, right? Like it needs to be something that is based on your values, on the drivers, and based on the vision of your life that you want to build for yourself. So in November, it will be 1 year of me officially establishing Business and Events Academy. Yay! And I'm keeping my eyes open, and I'm kind of registering everything, recording everything that's happening during this year so that I can make better decisions next year to hit my 2022 goals. First year in business is, for me, it's really observation. What works, what doesn't, how market reacts, what the needs are, where the sweet spot is between what I can offer and what people need, right? So I'm really kind of a big advocate for reverse engineering. So we are not creating new services or offers based on our own perceptions, because we can assume whatever in the world we want to assume, but it doesn't mean that people are going to buy that or they need that. So really going backwards and looking at the market needs, talking to people and seeing how you can help with your skill set, with your knowledge, with what you have to offer. That's really, well, the key for me. So having different activity and revenue streams for me personally has helped to balance my business performance, because every business, it has different performance in different months, in different periods. Our industry is also very often seasonal, right? Like based on activities that you are having. And some months they were particularly strong for one stream, and then some for other. And that's why I never had so-called like empty months, where it could go like super super low, and it helped me really to balance my business performance, to stabilize it. So right now I'm strategizing for the next year to identify where I want to pour more effort that will help me to reach better results in shorter period of time, because my goal, again, is not to work like 12-hour day, but to build a highly sustainable business that needs me for those CEO tasks. So I think everyone kind of like really needs to look at their business every 6 months and to see, okay, what's actually is performing well, like really from the business perspective, not really like, okay, yeah, I love doing that, but it doesn't kind of grow my audience, or it doesn't
Yes.
generate revenue for me, right? Like it's a hobby.
Yeah.
But from a business perspective, does it make sense or not? Mm-hmm.
You mentioned something very interesting. You said that you will seek for business opportunities that can generate the most revenue in the shortest period of time. And last week, actually, I had a live with Sabrina, and we had a question: would you invest in activities that you don't know whether they will generate any marketing, any profit, but you just have to do it? It's like sometimes it feels like being on Instagram. Okay, I'm posting on Instagram. I spend so much time on Instagram, but will this generate any revenue in the future? So because you can't really measure it, you have the likes, you have the views, but it's still questionable. Before you answer, I just want to go to a comment from Naomi, who completely agrees with what you've said. And she shares, I didn't expect to be able to make living from being online and building my brand. I now have several streams of income from creating a community who are interested in my purpose and different businesses too. I wouldn't be able to do what I do alongside my typical job. Thanks for the conversation. Thank you, Naomi. And whoever is watching us, also go and check out Naomi profile on Instagram. She hosts Instagram lives regularly. And yesterday, for example, there was an Instagram live about profit versus purpose, which is also a very, very important topic. Thank you for being
Thank you
with
very
us
much,
today,
Naomi.
Naomi.
Yes, and you
Yeah,
are doing super great with different activities, indeed. And I think like a huge inspiration for a lot of a lot of
especially for
event business owners, and yes,
event
event
professionals who
professionals.
are those entering now the industry. So yeah, you are doing amazing stuff.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Nadia, what's your kind of thoughts on investing time in activities that you're not sure whether they will generate income?
Yes, this is a super great question, because I think it really depends. It really depends on on what kind of business, right? Like you're running, and you have already, after some time of running this business, you have already an understanding. Okay, well, where the sales are coming from, like what kind of channels, from what type of activities, and you can actually track that in a way. If you are not doing that, then you definitely should. And basically, you can then see, okay, what channels you can optimize that. So it's kind of a hard decision, right? Like when you're deciding whether to say yes or no to an opportunity. But if you know, like, okay, well, this looks like a great brand boost, or for my brand identity, or visibility, or that will create some conversations, or a potential partner can see you in a couple of months. So you always need to think long term, right? And in the last couple of months, actually, I needed to also decline a couple of interesting opportunities, simply because I didn't feel, first of all, aligned with the purpose of that activity, and basically I didn't see how that is fitting into my mission, in how I'm running the business, what I want to do in my business, and how it serves my community. Because again, like whatever choices we make, we need to understand whether it will add value to people who are either following us, right? For online content creators, we really need to make sure that we are not kind of giving people all this noise instead of value. Otherwise, they will not trust us. So I think it's really going also with a gut feeling, based on your experience, based on the tracking and reporting that you are reviewing. Me, I'm always doing, again, like every month I have a CO day where I'm reviewing, okay, well, where I had most of engagement, which topics were mostly interested. I'm having constantly conversations in my DMs, to really stay track on well, keep on track with the needs of the audience. And basically that also helps me to decide which opportunities to say yes to and no to. So you don't know what's going to monetize in the future, but I think really thinking long term, who can see what you are doing, who can benefit from that, who can buy from you, certain service. These are the decision making factors for you. And very last thing I would like to mention, because this is something that I've been working on with my clients, is that is definitely also the mindset. A lot of my clients, they're coming to me in the very beginning of the program. What we are doing, we're going through the mindset, and we are going through, those beliefs that we have in our mind, and that we are projecting onto our clients. So a lot of the times they are saying, like, I don't trust myself. I don't know whether I'm making a good decision, right? And what I'm always saying is that, and when we are reviewing their decision-making process and criteria that they are having, like when they are making that decision, everything is there. It's just that they have this imposter syndrome, which is kicking in. And my big advice is here to trust yourself. You are doing great. You are a great business owner. If you are here, if you are making money, if you are attracting clients, if you are providing value. So these are your directions to follow.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very good tip. Definitely, I think mindset is like so important. It's like, yeah, I mean, I come from the social media side of things, and like, you have a new platform, and sometimes you say, oh, why should I waste time there? Like, I don't know what it will bring. But then, like, if you don't invest upfront, like, you have a very negative mindset. So also not going to bring you any like marketing results. Yeah, and I also want to share example from a conversation I had yesterday about TikTok. There was a contact that this was on TikTok, like in the very sorry, not TikTok, Clubhouse. So yeah, so Clubhouse, there was a big hype around Clubhouse, and it just like it was booming, and then everyone was there, but you don't know what will the future be because it was lockdown, and then people are starting to travel again and meet again. So yeah, so there were like 2 or 3 months of like everyone was just on Clubhouse, and then I had a conversation with a colleague about Clubhouse and whether it was good or not. But in these 3 months of being on Clubhouse, you've built many relationships. There were very, very good conversations. So sometimes you need to jump on this bandwagon for 1 or 2 months, try it, experiment it, like get this conversation, get these connections, and then just go on, because if you say, okay, I don't know if it will be there in 8 months, yeah, maybe not, but you've done it, you've tried it, and you got some results. And Robert adds, I do invest in experiments. I built my business model on 2 modes, busy and busy-full. Busy, I have to get paid for and has certain annual thresholds. Busy-full is threshold-free, but has to interest me or turn me on. Ultimately, busy-full fits busy. Busy fits me. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I also think that there are sometimes opportunities that come in and they're not paid, but you say, yes, wow, this is like something that so excites me, and I want to do this. Because going to the topic of purpose, quite often it's also related to purpose, and if it's something that you want to educate someone, if you want to give back to the industry, it definitely has to move you and motivate you to do it also without payment. And Robert also adds then as a second comment, freemium. Absolutely. And there's also a very good book
Love
about
that.
the freemium model. When we look at companies like Google, Facebook, Zoom, they're all based on freemium models. And I don't have the exact title of this book in mind. I will post it later in the comments. But it's a very valid business model to have a freemium. So you will offer part of your services for free, and then for the more complex, extensive services you will charge. So yeah, thank you, Robert, for this addition.
May I just add something? Yes, it's a great expression what Robert used, and you made me smile. And basically, what I wanted to add here is that all of us, at some in our businesses, we have those free value that we're giving, even with your content. If you are not giving free value with your content, then what are you doing there, right? So talking about like opportunities that turn us on or that motivate us, I completely agree, but in a way that like these opportunities eventually they will bring either paid opportunities or whether they will be monetized, because you are, if you love what you do, you are good at that. If you have this energy, if you have this motivation, then basically the resources and all the pieces of the puzzle, they will come together, and you will find a way how you can monetize that. So I don't believe that things that you do for free, they can't be monetized in the long run, or whether they are not building you like visibility or some other maybe things that you can't really translate in terms of revenue immediately.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a very good addition. And something very common is that, like, speaking at events, for example, that you might speak for free, but then you might get a business lead out of it, and get introduced to new
That's
audience.
right.
Yeah, and wrapping up now with the last question. So if anyone has a question, please ask Nadia, and I love your insights so far. Very business focused, straight to the point, and very financial mindset. I like it. Um, and now, what type of additional revenue streams would you like to explore in the future? You or you think event professionals now in the Corona times, like post-Corona, can explore a part of everything we spoke so far about, like commissions, for example. Maybe commissions are not so relevant anymore. What are like the new opportunities that we are not actively seeking right now, but can explore?
Hmm. I think, like even commissions, you can find partners, because usually on the commission basis you're working with the venues, so for in-person events. But even for virtual events, online events, you can have a commission from the partners or the platform that you're using. So if you are a fan of a platform, you can always offer either to be like an affiliate, or you can work with them on a commission basis. And basically you can promote that either to your audience, or to your clients, or you can just exclusively use them and they're giving you the commission. So you can actually find creative ways how you can approach that. And this is a matter of negotiation and building those relationships, business relationships with those players in the field. So I wouldn't say that during this virtual era we can't actually find other ways of generating revenue. Now, in terms of like myself, what I would like to explore is definitely gaining that momentum and bringing in the paid speaking and moderating opportunities, because I really enjoy sharing knowledge, bringing in new perspectives. And, I think quite a lot of us, we love being on stage. We are people who are very energized in the industry. So I think it could be actually a great addition also to the portfolio of services that the Business and Events Academy is offering. And I think like with one of my clients, we are now exploring also starting an e-commerce business, right? So as one of the streams. Now this is the business on its own. It is a very it's a completely different field, right? So I am not going even there because I'm not specializing in e-commerce, more like the service-based businesses. But basically, I think you can definitely see what you can offer in terms of like products, which might be relevant for the event businesses or business or the events that event planners are running. Very big focus, in my opinion, will be on sustainability, like really in a broad sense on various levels. And this will be a must have in events in the future. So I'm a huge fan of sustainable products. And when I was running my events, I was always like, researching and trying to source like locally produced or super eco-friendly, creative, innovative products. But that takes time. It took quite some days for me to find something suitable. So even focusing on the sustainable side of things and providing products for the events, like for goodie bags, for example, that can be the beginning of this e-commerce business that you might be launching. So I think we can explore opportunities in e-commerce product-based business.
That's very interesting. I would love to hear more ideas. So if anyone listening to us right now has any ideas, what will be the future revenue generating opportunities, please let us know, because we all want to learn from each other and hopefully make more money. So I want to maybe just add from my side, we also touched on it last week, and Naomi also brought this topic, is the creator funds, which are now on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts. So
That's
these
right.
social media platforms are providing some funding for creators to create content. So this is also very interesting, because I think right now we are all in the content business. What we are doing now is content. You we all post on daily on social media, on Twitter, LinkedIn, and so on. So yeah, so talking about also the influencer side of things, event professionals who have a very strong brand and industry influencer can definitely explore these options. Yeah, so I think that's all from my side as far as I can think about revenue generation streams, new revenue generation streams. Um, Thank you very much, Nadia, for your time, for your expertise, and bringing value up front. Thank you, everyone who joined us today live for this conversation. And if anyone wants to connect with you, how can they do this?
Thank you so much, Irina. It was great. Thank you so much, Robert, Naomi, for your comments. And I would love to meet you in person one day. And for everyone who's watching a replay, do connect with me definitely on Instagram. Here's my handle, Nadia Rubtsova _event on LinkedIn. Sorry, you can find me under the name Nadia Rubtsova, and then the same on Twitter. So I love connecting with people in our industry. I love having different conversations, deep conversations. So do find me. Let's connect and let's keep the conversation going.
Thank you very much, Nadia, and I see you soon, hopefully in person.
Thank you, Rina. Yes.
Thank you.
We hope. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.